All
Thanks,
right.
dog.
Hello. Welcome to the Positive Masculinity Podcast. Today we're going to try something new. We're going to have a panel discussion on a topic. We're going to try to talk about why it's important for men to have platonic female friends. With me, I have three guests. I have Noah, Isaiah, and Everett, who've all been on the podcast before. But starting with Everett, introduce yourself, plug yourself.
Yeah. My name's Everett. I have platonic female friends, and I think that's
Bro.
and I think that's cool. I'm a strong believer in you don't have to try and fuck all your friends because that's kind of weird. And yeah, that's
Aw.
that's what I say.
Bro, that's a hot
It's
take.
okay to just be friends with people.
I don't know, man. That's a really hot take.
I know, it is a hot take. But that is my take. Although, I haven't tried to fuck any of you guys, as far as you guys know. So I'm
Wait,
standing by that take.
wait, hold on a second.
Wait. As far as we
You know I don't cut these things, right?
Ooh.
Everett, you're gonna make me jealous over here.
All right, Noah, you introduce yourself. Plug anything you want to plug.
Okay, I'm Noah. I somewhat agree that sometimes men and women. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course, men and women should be friends. That's I think it's pretty weird if you are unable to maintain a friendship with someone of the opposite gender. So yeah, have friends of all kinds of backgrounds because that's a good thing.
Okay, Isaiah, who's not on video, let's hear
My name's Isaiah Salison, and I approve this message.
it. Okay, guys. It seems like not only do you three agree, but I also agree. Big fucking surprise. So let's
Ooh,
try
that's
to
so
get.
crazy. Who would have thought?
Yeah, who'd have thought, right? That all of us would be, super normal and think that female friends are okay. But let's try to get into like the meat and potatoes of like the issue rather than like just all like hugboxing it. Why do you think it's important for men to have female friends?
One, I would say it definitely offers a different perspective. I was talking to a friend about this actually a while ago, and I was telling him that you can kind of tell, like a guy who doesn't have any friends that are women, at least, just by some of the things they say, some of the things they believe. We talk about just certain issues that women struggle with in society, right? And I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh yeah, women's is all about women's rights, which obviously are important, but like there are certain things that like you're just not going to experience really as much as a man, and that you might be blinded to. But having someone who is a woman as a friend will definitely open your eyes to some of these experiences that are important. If you want to uplift other people as well from different backgrounds, I think that's one thing. Obviously, there's tons of other reasons, but just to get it started, I think that's the first thing that popped in my head.
No.
Yeah, that clicks. That checks out.
Yeah, I think that like building on that a little bit too. Like it's not just like good for the people around you. Like it's also good for you. Like your life will be like having an increased value. I think also. Like I think like women friendships are like a little stronger than male friendships, and a lot of people would like say like, oh, like, well, like, I'm a guy and I've had a best friend since like second grade, and it's been the same best friend, and it's like, well, what do you talk about? Well, sometimes we show up and we play video games at each other's house, and then we'll go home, and it's like, okay, cool. That's yeah, exactly. You haven't. I can tell just by the way you described your friendship with your
Yeah,
best
you guys talk
friend.
about trucks and like muscles and the fun
Yeah.
things, right?
It's like, when's the last time you've had like a deep like conversation about your feelings with him? I don't think I've ever done that before. Yep, I bet you haven't. Like, yeah. Whereas like women will want to talk to you about their feelings, and if they're good friends, they'll want to hear about your feelings as well. And I think that's good to learn to open up and not like hold everything in until you kill yourself. Like statistically, a lot of men do. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I think there's a lot of value in that, and also I found like obviously there are always exceptions, but I mean I think guys tend to like have things that like they are into and can share like a mutual interest in more often, and girls have things that they're interested in that they share mutual interest in, and it's really easy to have a superficial relationship over like being interested in the same sports team or whatever, video games, whatever. And most girls don't have the same interest in those things that I share with other guys. So when I like have a friendship with a girl, you've got to like search beyond just like sharing a mutual interest in a superficial thing, and that that can lead to like a deeper connection, and that you can't just like easily latch on, not always easily latch on to a superficial shared interest.
All right, Isaiah, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have any particular thought beyond just that I think a lot of people, when they have a lot of friendships that are based on mutual interest, it can be hard to see what you're missing out of friendships that are not based on mutual interest.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree, right? And like it's not necessarily like locked in true of men, but it's kind of like forced of women inherently, just because we're socialized so differently. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think that like women will find you less insufferable if you if you like know how to be around women and like act like a normal person. I know that's like kind of self-evident, but like like learn to like I think it's much easier to talk to women in like a romantic way if you just like can just talk to them normally, right? It's like if you don't ever interact with women normally, like interacting with someone romantically or like flirting or whatever you want to call it, right, is like so much of a step up of just interacting with someone just like on like a normal personable level, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a funny memory of one of our friends saying something similar to that to me one time, but definitely right.
What?
Give us the story.
Yeah.
No, just one of our friends one time was just like, this was like a while ago. They were just like, hey, I thought that you seem like really comfortable talking to women, and they're like trying to make this not sound so goofy, but they're like, you seem really comfortable, and at first I thought you were just really experienced with talking to hot women, but I've come to realize you're just like you don't care. Like at first I thought it's because you're just experienced with talking to hot women, but I've come to realize you just don't give a fuck, and you're experienced talking to people in general.
Yeah, it's almost like they're people.
That's super weird.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, it was one of our friends. Our friends are all weirdos, so hey.
We're a big neurodivergent family, okay?
Everyone's everyone's
minor. What?
I said neurodivergent and a minor, right? That's the joke.
Oh no!
You never heard that joke?
No,
the meme?
I haven't. Oh,
when you say something dumb, the excuse is I'm neurodivergent and a minor, even though you're not.
Oh well. Unfortunately, I can't use that second part anymore. We're all old now.
Yeah.
Hey, speak for yourself.
What? You're older than me. What do you mean?
Hey, dude, I'm not 16. I'm 18 years young. Okay. In spirit.
But yeah, I think that like that's like very true. Like Everett's very, I mean, you all are like just very good at talking to people and being normal, right? I think that like I can have trouble talking to people, but it's like not a gender-based thing. It's just I'm just a little aspy. So
you're just neurodivergent and a minor.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that like I think that I also like I come from like a privileged place when it comes to like talking to women and stuff like that, I think, because I have 5 little sisters, right? So it's like, and most of my cousins are women, so it's like I grew up around women. Like I kind of ingrained into me that they're just people. I think that like a lot of men will like they almost treat them like a different species, if that makes sense. Whereas like it's not we're not really that as different as like a lot of people will make us out to be. Yeah.
I do agree with that for sure. I think that like a lot of people, especially like, and it might be more so like the whole manosphere type thing, but people have the attitude of like, yes, women are so different, and like you have to talk to them completely different than you would like another guy, and it's like, dog, you're both people. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Hmm.
And I think going back to the mutual interest thing, I think like both ways people would be surprised how much like mutual interest you can develop by like talking to a woman, right? Like I like it. I mean, this is with my wife, so it's like obviously it's a little bit different, but like I have come to love like random musicians that I probably wouldn't listen to. Like I love Sabrina Carpenter, okay, and I know that's like super girly, but like she's great. She does a lot of good music, right? I don't care. And then like I don't think Aniha would have gotten into anime if I like we didn't date, right? I don't think she'd be into it. Like she's into
Hmm.
it. Um, or maybe Marvel, but I don't think DC. I don't know if she was into DC when we started dating, but regardless, right? So yeah.
For sure. I do think, yeah, like developing deep relationships with people of the opposite gender, whether it's romantic and you end up marrying them or just a really strong friendship, um, can like push you on like out of your comfort zone in some ways, just to like learn about new things that you would have never even thought about, and find things that you like that you just wouldn't have ever tried if you didn't have someone kind of like bringing you into that world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah. Anything else, guys?
I'm not gonna lie, this is exactly what I was worried about. I was like, we're all
Say
gonna
something, Isaiah.
rant for like 20 seconds, and then we're gonna be like, yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I wanted to get for the audience at home. The context is I wanted to get somebody on here who's like a little bit more iffy or a little less experienced, but like I realize that like it's hard because like once you're our age and you've been hanging out with women, it's like hard to like hang out with people who don't hang out with women, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Well,
Like
I remember in school, like knowing people who, like college, like who just like saw women as people to like either just they were someone they had no interest in being around or someone to pursue for sex, and that was it. Like
right.
they were not like they would never hang out with a girl like and do something that they enjoy doing with a girl that's not like trying to fuck them basically. And yeah, that's just like such a weird mindset. And yeah, I mean, I think like definitely like that's the kind of person I don't necessarily want to be around so much, because if that's something they believe, there's a lot of other differences too. That's not going to be the only one. And they're not like someone I like very, very well mesh with. And it's probably the same for everyone here, I would assume.
Yep.
I'd say it's kind of ironic you say that.
Isaiah, you could like contribute to the discussion.
Brother, I have nothing to say.
Isaiah, you
What
could
is
have
there
at least
to be
been,
said about this?
Isaiah, you should have been the alpha male podcast watching.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
See?
It's just that I mean the reason I wanted to do this, I know it might be a short podcast or whatever, right? But like even if it's just a 13-minute video, like I don't give a fuck. Like I think it's important because like I think a lot of men don't understand that like it's not just that like women will benefit from having like male friends. It's like men will benefit from having female friends. Like you will benefit, and you will see not only like learning to talk to women so that when you have many women that you want to pursue romantically, like you will be able to like do that easier, right? It's also like your emotional intelligence will increase, like your I would say like your sociability and your like ability to like I don't want to say not stand out, but like men are very like do this thing when they get together sometimes where they like get very postury, right? Especially men that don't hang out with women.
Yeah.
They got to be the toughest dude in the room, and it's so exhausting.
It's super
It's
exhausting.
So stupid.
Kind of annoying.
Right.
It's really
Okay.
annoying.
And for people at home, like Everett and I like do mixed martial arts, so like it's very much like a thing. Like I mean, the wrestling room, there was always somebody like that. In the martial arts gym, there's always someone like that, and it's just so stupid. Like whether they really are like really can beat you up or not, it's like it does, like I don't know, it doesn't really make a difference. It's just it doesn't make you I don't know, it just makes me want to avoid you, like regardless. Yeah.
Facts.
Yep.
I was gonna say, oh no, Isaiah, go for it. You haven't.
No, I just said yep. That's all I said.
Oh my
Yep.
Do you have any
Jesus.
personal anecdotes or anything, Isaiah, of people you met who
Oh my
do things
god.
differently that pissed you off? Anything?
I do. I just don't know how much I can say.
You can say
Well,
whatever
give
you
us
want,
their-
I
Isaiah.
probably shouldn't.
Say
Don't
it.
give us their name.
No.
Why?
No, I can't.
Who?
I
Why?
Can't, I can't.
Why can't
tell
you
the
say it?
story because the the context of the story gives away who
No, it
the
doesn't.
people are involved. No, I promise you it does. So I'm not gonna tell it. But yeah, I have had people like I have okay, while being as vague as possible after a night out and seeing some friends of mine after that said night out at like like everyone got back from whatever party or whatever. I saw them, I said hi, and they were like, oh, were there any women? And I was like, yeah, of course. And then they made like a little like fucking motion with their hips, and I was like, no, just friends. And then they like looked at me with like that look that someone gives you when like their entire concept of the world is like broken. Like they couldn't figure out, like they were like, well, maybe he's gay. Like I don't understand. So
Jesus.
yeah, that's happened before.
Do I know this person?
No, absolutely not.
I feel like most people have probably been in like a similar position like that. Like I know one time in college, I remember at a party talking to a girl all night, and like one of the guys on the team who got kicked off the team because he fought everyone on the team. Like you weren't really on the team if you didn't get in a fight with this guy at least once.
What the fuck?
That was the joke we used to have. If you didn't fight blank at least one time, were you even on the team?
Oh,
He was that type of guy. He was that type of guy.
No, what the fuck?
Yeah, him and I got in a fight one time. He was like, anyways. I remember one time at a party that I'm talking to a girl like the whole night, and he was giving me shit about it because he's like, dude, that girl's lesbian, and I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, well, why are you trying to fuck a lesbian girl? And I'm like, I'm not trying to fuck her. I'm like, what?
We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like normal fucking people, dude. Like, what's your problem? But it's like shit like that, of course. There's just like, no, not every like person that I talk to the opposite sex, I like have some goal or intention of like hooking up with. Like, heck, I feel like I talk to probably more women like than men on a normal basis. But it's like, I always joke around and tell people if you were to look at my fucking text messages, they are not like, it's nothing crazy. I'm not saying like flirty shit. Like I'm talking to them like normal people because they're friends to me, Like I'm not trying to secretly like fuck all these people. It's just that I just happen to have friends who happen to be women. And it's like kind of weird to think of like every woman you talk to in like that type of way, in my opinion.
Well, and people will project that onto you too. Like, okay, this is the story, and no, it involves your ex actually.
Ooh,
yeah,
I see.
Yeah. There was one time, and I'm not going to mention which family member it is, but Noah and Isaiah will know exactly which one it is. That I was hanging out with Noah's ex just because, and we're like having a good time. I forget what we were just at, like one of the rental houses when remember we were redoing the house or whatever. And then she goes to leave, right? She hung out for like a couple hours with us, like with me and Lily. I mean, me and Lily, and we just I forget what we did. I don't know. But I remember when as soon as she walks out the door, like this person goes like, oh yeah, like, like, wow, good job. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, it's Noah's girlfriend. Why would you say that? Like, he's like, what do you mean? And then I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, why would I do that? That's such a fucking bitch move. Like, what do you... I'm just friends with her. God for fucking bid, bro. Like I was so mad. I like remember like that's the last time I started a screaming match with this person, and I was just.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Yeah. My mom was not
Oh
very
my
happy
God.
with this person either. Yeah, she was also very loud with him as well. Yeah, yeah. It was just so weird for me because like I don't know, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It was just very weird. It's the only way I can describe it is it was a very weird experience because like I didn't even think about it like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then it made me like then I felt like, oh well, like even though I knew you probably wouldn't care and you definitely didn't care, like then it made me feel like, oh, like should I be hanging out with this person, like hanging out with her, because what if Noah feels some type of way about it, because then like I don't want to piss him off, like he shouldn't have to feel like uncomfortable like that, right? And then but I didn't, yeah, I don't know, yeah.
I think that actually brings up a good point. Something we talked about a little bit is like the whole girlfriend and like within the friend group dynamic, in the sense of like when you're a guy and you have your girl with you, and like I can't speak for anyone but myself. But personally, I feel like you would want your girlfriend to be like friends, or your wife, or your significant other, to be friends with your friends who are also guys, like, and everyone to get along, and you shouldn't have to feel weird, like, dude, my friends are trying to hit on my girl. Like, what type of friends do you keep them? And I think that is also a thing that might pop up a little bit as far as that dynamic, in the sense of like the way that some men view women, right? Anytime there's a woman in the group, it's just like automatically like a trying to hit on her type of thing, and it's just like, no. Again, and especially like you said, like your significant other. Like it's a weird concept for me to think about. Your story made me think about that though, like that thought of even talking to someone's like girlfriend in such a way, but at the same time, I would want to be friends with all my friends' girlfriends, like, because that's my like bro right there, right? Like
Yeah.
you want them to be your friends too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Neha would hang out with. I know Neha has hung out with Isaiah and Noah like alone before, like, but like I mean, Everett obviously like they'd be totally fine. Like I don't know, it doesn't bother me, and she's my wife. Like, okay, like yeah, like I don't know. It's what?
I get it's just crazy to me that we're actually having a podcast episode about this. This feels like such a nothing sandwich. I mean, in a good way, but I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, but like,
well, a lot of people like think this is bizarre.
Yeah.
No, I know.
We just don't associate with those people. Like,
exactly.
If that is something we disagree on, there's obviously like more issues that will lead us not to want to be friends with them.
Yeah, I mean, as you're
probably true.
As we're telling all these stories, you're finding out like, oh wait, we do know people that are like this.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Like, oh my god. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I fought the guy that was like this.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
So that's the lesson that Everett wants us all to take away. If anyone disagrees with you on women, beat them up. No,
yeah. Yeah.
In my defense, though, everyone fought that guy, so it's not that I was doing anything special at that point. And he got kicked off our team for fighting everyone.
Oh my god.
That's really funny.
Yeah, there was this one other guy that I knew in high school, who no one knows, that he would constantly, like, whenever, like, when I went to Torrey Pines, there was another gentleman that we were friends with, and he would hang out with my girlfriend, and he was like, hey, so-and-so is trying to step up on your girl, like, he would like whisper it in my ear, like fucking, like, the guy in Lord of the Rings, with like the King of Rohan, who's like Worm Tongue, I think that's his name.
Yeah, Green Love Worm.
He's like, he's hanging out with your girlfriend, and you're like, like, why are you saying that? Like, if nothing's happening. Yeah, it was like such a projection. It always feels like projection too. I think that's like the that's the issue, is like, I don't know. It just like,
and that goes like back to what I was saying about like dating someone. Like, I don't know, I just couldn't see myself dating someone that I didn't feel like I could trust them to hang out with my friends that are guys, and I can see myself being friends with a dude that I can entrust to like hang out with, like a girl that I'm dating. But a
Yeah.
lot of people do feel that way, obviously. And going back to like what Noah said, it, or even like what Isaiah said, like it's a nothing burger in this group, but this is not like there's way too many people who don't. I would say don't feel this way, or don't at least look at women in this light, and don't look at relationships this way, as far as like people of the opposite sex.
Yeah, and like
Okay, so
so.
sorry.
No. Like,
Oh, I was just gonna say I do have something to add, which is that I think that on one hand, I think it can be harder to make friends with women, or at least it tends to take more time. Just because. Okay, so I'll put it this way, right? Like I can generally approach a guy in a social setting if I have interest, like literally just whatever, you know what I mean? And usually, like, there's no presumption that anyone's hitting on anyone. If I approach a woman in the social setting, there's definitely like that sort of guard of like, oh, is he hitting on me? Which is like totally understandable because a lot of guys would be. So there's that, and I will say the flip side of this too is that I feel like for women, I think they don't know. Like, obviously, like, hitting on someone and what I'm about to talk about are very different things. But like, I think a lot of women also are just in a position where they don't know who they can and can't trust
mm-hmm.
to be their friend and just their friend and nothing more. So, like, there's that too. I don't know. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's to build on that. I think it's like since I have a wife, right? Obviously, I'm gonna bring her into this.
This guy just keeps bragging that he has a wife. He's like, I have a wife. I'm a wife guy.
It's made it a lot easier to like approach women to like talk to them as friends, because normally you have to go through the scary to gay to like oh, this guy's cool pipeline, you know.
That's funny.
That's the assumption. Whenever you talk to a woman and you're just trying to be friends with them, it's like first you're scary because you're trying to fuck. Then when they realize you're not trying to fuck, oh, this guy's like gay because he's not hitting on me. And then they're like, oh no, he's not gay, right? Like he's just like an actual friendly person. Like he treats me like a human being, right? But when you have like another girl there to like vouch for you, especially when you're dating, right? It like kind of like you get all the way to the end like pretty quickly, which should be pretty.
I definitely agree with that. I think the setting too, like it depends on the setting a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Because I was thinking of like the most recent friend that person I became friends with. That's a woman, right? Which was like the weekend of my birthday. I met this girl, and I was like, I didn't feel like it was like a weird awkward pipeline. Like we hit off pretty quickly. But then I was thinking, I did meet her in like a setting of mutual friends. And I guess like everyone had already told her about me before I had got there, so that probably changes things. Now, if she was just like, well, I guess to me she was random because I didn't know her, but if it was like a random girl out, right, who I didn't know at all, she didn't know any of my friends, I could definitely see where they would probably think that I'm trying to hit on them. Granted, I don't really talk to random women or men out in general. I don't know, unless it's like I'm kind of forced in a situation to talk to someone. It's pretty rare that I just start talking to people that I don't know, but I definitely could see where if you're in that situation where, the first assumption might be that this guy is trying to hit on me or this guy wants something.
Absolutely, yeah. I sounded like Isaiah was going to say something.
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I was just going to, I mean, I was thinking something, which is that I guess I think I have to be more conscious of how I approach women if I want to be friends than I do with men if I just want to be friends.
Of course, yeah. Because I mean, like.
But that's like. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. That's just kind of like a given, I guess.
I feel like Isaiah was expecting this to be a nothing burger, and now he's like, "Wait, we're 30 minutes in. This is way longer than I expected."
I mean, we're 30 minutes into rambling about the exact same thing because we have no conflict here.
Yeah, we're just kind of building on each other's ideas a little bit, I would say.
That's true.
Yeah, we're giving a guide, okay, to younger men.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I would say to give that guide, like just be normal is like the best advice I can think of. Always
Yeah.
just be a normal person. Now, what does that mean to anyone? Like I mean, for me, being normal is don't say anything too weird. Don't be like weirdo or creepy. I don't know. I don't think about it too much at this point in my life. Like it's not like a thought that I'm having like in my head where I'm thinking like how creepy is this coming out? Like is this that's weird too in itself, but literally just be a normal person. Like women are normal people. Like talk to them like you would any other fucking person, And and it's definitely good to have those relationships again. But at the same time too, I don't think it's like wrong to like have feelings for a friend or like develop feelings for a friend.
No,
Is
no, no.
you shouldn't. But I think it is weird to go into a friendship with the goal of getting with said person. I think that's a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, you
Sure.
should just enjoy the friendship for its like on its face, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what happens happens.
You're right.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, and if you find yourself developing feelings like romantic feelings for every woman you meet, like that might be a reflection on you. It might be like it might be time to
Yeah,
like
True.
yeah.
that's a good point because yeah, I didn't even. That's a good point to bring up. The fact, like I said, well, it's one thing to develop romantic feelings for a friend. Like that is definitely different if you're developing feelings for every fucking friend. If you're just a woman, like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He
Isaiah,
goes,
I look at what Isaiah put in the chat. It's fucking
Oh god.
hilarious.
oh no, oh no.
Jesus. Um yeah.
Although, I think also part of like getting older and like having had long-term relationships, I know Davin and I have, and I assume Everett and Isaiah at least at some point have had a long-term relationship that they've been in. I feel like that also.
I have
like,
not.
Oh, you have not. Okay, well,
I have not. No.
you're better. You're better than us, or better than me, I should say. I think like having been in long-term relationships has like also taught me a lot about how to build a friendship with a girl, because when you're in like a long-term relationship with someone, like it's not just sexual anymore. Like compared to like a friends with benefits, you just like meet up to hook up and whatever. When you're in a multi-year relationship with someone, I feel like you like look beyond just like the sexual aspect of it and actually have to develop a friendship to maintain a relationship that long. And I feel like that also like made me more like confident and comfortable like developing deeper friendships with women as well. Having like had that time to like build a super really deep friendship with someone. So I feel like also just like getting older like helps like develop that too.
Yeah, I think to build on that, I think that like yeah, like or to sum it up, I think that like if you're interested in monogamy and you're a man and you're straight, you should definitely get some female friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that like learning how to develop that like connection with women, right, is like good practice, right? Because the stakes are much lower and friends are much more understanding of like things, and you can't fuck it up as much, right? I would say
Mm-hmm.
like you're never in a situation where you're having like big large scale fights with like your friends. Really, you shouldn't be really. Like maybe like small scale or something, then you resolve it or whatever. But that's good. Like it's good practice to figure out like what are the different boundaries that this different person has. Like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's a good point.
Definitely.
yeah. I also think that learning to see women as people instead of like these like weird goals to be obtained will also help you in long term relationships, because once you attain the goal, then you won't be like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? It's like, yeah.
And I feel like it's just got to be an exhausting way to live, to be like, oh, like I need to like if I'm gonna spend time with a girl, I need like the reasons to hook up with her, and you're like always like trying to do that. I feel like that's just like a exhausting way to live your life. You can actually just like put your guard down and just like have a genuine friendship with someone regardless of their gender. It's like I feel like that's just a lot. Like it's a lot less stressful.
Honestly, even doing that in like a relationship was like because my high school relationship was like kind of like not good in that sense, where I felt like I was like constantly trying to like get some, right, and I feel like that's like it was really exhausting. Like I probably would have enjoyed myself more if I just like stopped and smelled the roses a little bit, so to speak.
For sure. I mean, any relationship in general, obviously, you're gonna need more than as far as romantic relationships, I guess, more than just sex, anyways, right? So, like,
True.
if you want it to last, so if that's the one thing and that was your only
Mhm.
goal, like, that's gonna fizzle out pretty quick as far as a relationship goes, um, in general. But again, definitely having women friends will help you develop as a person. And if you're straight and you want to date women, then yeah, having women friends will help you just get better at talking to women and outside of, trying to hook up with them because women are normal fucking people.
Yeah.
So if you learn how to talk to them, then when you are actually interested, it will be 1,000 times easier.
I
I
also
feel
think,
like I'm friends with people for who they are, not for their gender.
right, naturally, right? But like their gender is who they are as well,
Sure. Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Like
It's an important aspect of like their day to day life and like it can, what
That's
affects
also
them.
true. That's a good point. Yeah.
it's the same way that like race, religion, ethnicity like also plays a role in like who someone
Right.
is. Like it shouldn't be
Yeah, it's
everything,
true.
right? Especially when you're consideration of them, but like they're gonna act different if they're like like I'm half Hispanic. Like that's gonna I'm gonna bring something different to the table and like have different opinions about certain things than other people are going to.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. And I also think that like uh, women's culture, I guess to say like is it can be really valuable to learn if you want to like practice a more positive version of masculinity, right? Like women are more like well, they try to be more gentle with each other until like their relationships break down, but like uh, then they're yeah. But they like one of the reasons that the relationships break down, I would say more often, is because they know each other deeper and they express like opinions about each other more frequently, I would say, and like exhibit judgment on each other more because they're trying to keep each other, they hold each other accountable. I think a little bit more than men do. Whereas like a lot of men just like are just like, well, did he fuck me over? No, he's like loyal to me. Okay, well, it doesn't matter what he thinks about anything else as long as like we're cool. We do the same things we've been doing, and he doesn't ever like come at me for anything. Yeah.
That's true. I feel like
You
I
feel
don't
like
know. I do feel like the way I talk to my friends who are guys is a little different from how I talk to my friends who are girls, but like not that different.
yeah. No, I agree.
I feel like if anything, it's the place where it's the most different is like resolving any interpersonal conflict or like talking about things that are incredibly personal to the other person. I think that's where I maybe talk to guys a little differently from how I talk to women.
Yeah, they just have a different communication style, right?
Different
Oh,
communication
no.
style, yeah. Which I would say is probably really important to like learn before. I don't know. It's probably important to like learn that both sides of that culture, if you will,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also just the
no
more you get
matter
to
what
know
your gender.
someone, let's say, yeah, the more you get to know someone, you'll realize that like different people, even within the same gender, and different women have different communication styles as well. And so that just kind of goes into being friends with someone, right? Like the better, the closer you are as a friend with someone, the more you're gonna realize what their communication style is, and like,
Yep.
I'm gonna approach things differently with different people, just because of my relationship with them, and I might realize this person communicates best this way, someone else communicates best that way, regardless of being male or female. And so like that's definitely gonna change things. Although trying to think if I really of my interpersonal conflicts with women and men, am, hmm, if talk more differently throughout them, I feel like I can't. At least for myself personally, it's so rare that I have conflicts with any of my friends that like I genuinely can only think of like one woman in my life that I ever have conflicts with, and like one guy friend that's like a close friend that I ever like have like. So this is like kind of hard for me because I'm like, do I talk to them differently? Yes, but like we're going off of 2 people total, like, and 1 guy and 1 woman, and so like outside of that, I don't really, at least myself personally. So it's kind of hard for me to say. I just can't think of any men or women that I'm close to that I've really had any real issues with or any type of conflict.
Yeah, I'm pretty like measured. I feel like in my disagreements for the most part. So like I usually don't like I don't have to moderate myself, but like I recognize that um, like maybe met like with some of my like men male friends in the past, I've had to be a little bit more confrontational when I've had a problem. Um, if that makes sense. Like you need to be more direct and more like. Yeah, I will also add on to like the communication thing and say like as someone whose love language is touch, like learning that like where everyone stands. Like a lot of women like don't like to be touched by men, regardless of if you're their friend or not. And it's like that was something I learned. I think probably a little bit too late. I probably should learn that like in high school, and I didn't learn it till maybe college. And like I didn't mean anything by it. Like I was just trying to be huggy and like show that like I'm friends with you or whatever. And like guys love that, but like some women just don't like that, and it's like something you should moderate. I think probably.
Davin, are you a "where's my hug at" guy? No, I'm kidding.
No. No. But you know, Noah, like sometimes I'll walk over to you and I'll be like, yo, like look at your look, you got like you're hunching over and I'll rub your back a little bit and you'll be like, I can't just do that to women and stuff like that. That's not like yeah, they're gonna feel some type like a different type of way than I'm intending it. Right? Or I'll just like or I'll walk by and crack your back sometimes. Like
Yeah, that's true.
Give you a big hug.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And yeah, I feel like, there's so many reasons why there's that like different way of act towards women, like when it comes to that kind of thing, whether it's like past experiences, because pretty much every woman has like had really bad experiences with men, and also just like social expectations and like how other people perceive things and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so many things like add up to making that like totally normal for like to do it with a guy versus doing it with a girl.
Right. Yeah. And like well, I will say that like, and this seems counterintuitive, I don't think you should ask straight women on how to pursue women. And I can explain that if you want. But like I think that like having them there to guide you in a relationship is like super important. But the reason I say that you shouldn't ask straight women on how to pursue women is straight women have never bagged a woman before, so how would they know what they want? They only know what they personally want.
So probably asking lesbian women might be one.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than asking a straight woman.
Yeah.
Because they've bagged 0.
Good point.
They've bagged less than you.
That's true. I always think of it just as like, I don't know, they're playing a very different game.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
So it's just kind of like they're giving you advice for. Oh, I'm gonna stop myself.
Yeah, they're giving you advice for a different game, right? They have. I know what you're gonna say, and I'll take the bite for it. Okay, I'll take the blow. Okay, they have a certain part of the game on easy mode, and we have that same part of the game on hard mode.
They're giving you advice for checkers when you're playing chess. That's what.
Right,
it is.
but then it reverses. But then for a lot of women, it reverses when it's time to like, okay, now I need to make the move from, just fucking to dating, right? Well, now they're playing on hard mode. Now they're playing chess, and we're playing checkers, right? Like, so it's.
Do you think?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. 100%.
I don't know. I feel like that one goes both ways. But...
No.
Okay.
Women get stuck in the fuck zone so much more than men do. It's not even close. Yeah. Yeah. As a man, if you can get in the fuck zone, it's on you if you fumble at that point. Only you can fuck it up.
Well, I don't think that's.
I don't think that's totally true either. Yeah.
As a general rule, okay, not for every single woman, okay.
I do think statistically that's probably correct. But I definitely know from personal experience that like there have been women who I've wished I could pursue a relationship with, but they only wanted to hook up.
Did they tell you that though?
What?
Did they tell you that?
As much as they could without saying, like, making themselves look that bad. Like,
Okay.
of course they.
Okay, well, then
May-
whose fault is that?
Lack of direct communication, maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny. As I get older, I look at my experiences where I was in pretty much the same position as Noah, and it's like, now that I'm older, I both see it implicit that, of course, without anything being spoken of, this is nothing more than a hookup, but also, at the same time, I think I would be I'd be a lot more clear with any partner about what my intentions were
No, of
than I
course.
was when I was younger. Like, I think when I was younger, I just didn't really think about other people's feelings, I think. Anyways.
That's okay.
As long as you learn, you know.
Sounds
as long
really
as
fucked
you
up
grow-
because it is. What?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you grow and learn, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, I guess so.
What's the super nerdy reference? But there's a line in Black Clover, right? It's not a sin to be weak. It's a sin to stay weak, right?
What's Black Clover?
It's an
it's
anime.
an anime.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's like the intention meaning like if you don't know there's a problem, like that's not bad, right? But as soon as you're made aware of that problem, like you should fix it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah,
women are friends,
I
not
do think women deal with the problem of, like, the other person only wanting sex more often than the other way around.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Just know, like, from personal experience, it definitely does happen. Like, it's just probably a lot less common.
Yeah, it's sad, and like,
Yeah.
and like, again, being friends with a woman like that will help you have like more empathy, because empathy is like like it's a skill, right? Some people are more talented at that skill, right? Naturally, but it's a skill that you build, right? So like meeting people of different backgrounds like will help you have empathy for the people of the different backgrounds, right? Like women, and it'll help you in your personal relationships, right? Like even if you are just trying to hook up with a girl, right? The process of telling a girl that like is not easy, right? Or like even recognizing that she wants more than that, right, is like something that you would have to have empathy for, and you wouldn't know unless you were friends with women who that was happening to. Which again, if you're friends with any women, that has happened to them. So yeah.
Facts. That's a true statement. When you're friends with women, you realize that a lot of fucked up shit has happened to them.
Well,
actually,
yeah, that's
in reality.
that too.
Mm-hmm.
You will also be less creepy.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, the women will check you. Okay. Your women friend. Well, A, if you're creepy, you won't have any women friends. Okay. B, if you're creepy enough not to have any women, if you're not creepy enough to where you like can actually have women friends, if you're still creepy, they will tell you and be like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That is no, I fully agree with you on that. Yeah, and that's another thing too. It's good to have people that will fucking check you when you're doing these things that you shouldn't be doing in the first place. And, I think Davin brought this up earlier about accountability, and sometimes guys may not hold each other as accountable as they should. It's kind of like the attitude of, well, they're cool to me, so it is what it is. But yeah, having like women friends definitely will make a difference sometimes, and they might be the ones that call you out on your bullshit, especially when it comes to how you are interacting with other women.
Oh, Annie has checked me before. I'll give a personal example.
Who?
Annie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, what were you doing? You gonna say what you were doing?
I'm not gonna give the details.
Oh, okay.
But she was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" I was like,
Isaiah's being
shit, you
creepy
right.
over here. Yeah.
It was just something I didn't even notice.
You didn't notice that you were, yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't notice as he has the spyglass looking in his neighbor or whatever.
Oh my god. Yo.
Didn't notice.
What? Well, oh my god, I don't even know how that got here.
I swear I didn't know. It be like that sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, maybe I didn't. Well, anyways.
No,
Well,
we're not.
I was gonna say maybe I gave the wrong impression
No,
by
I
like not
would-
giving enough
We're
detail. But...
joking.
That's why I.
Okay.
That's why I asked, and then when you didn't say it, I gave a ridiculous example so that
That's funny.
we
Okay,
could
that's fair.
decompress
That's
a little
fair.
bit.
the example you gave earlier, Jonathan, I think really plays into that whole thing about how you will like just like grab my back or like give me hugs like all the time, and you wouldn't do that with women, even though like there's nothing more to it. You do it for the same reason you do it with me. It's nothing like sexual, but it could come off creepy to a girl if you're doing that to a girl all the time. That I mean, if you knew them as long as me, it wouldn't be creepy. But like a female friend who maybe you don't have as deep of a friendship as with me, like that could definitely come off creepy to them, and that's why you don't do that with women like that, even though you're not like trying to do anything weird by it. But I could see how that could come off creepy to some women.
Mm-hmm. And like I what do you call it? Like even people I've known just as long as you, like Sarah. Like I don't think I can be as touchy for like on like with Sarah as I am with you, right? Just because like I don't know, it doesn't come off that she's like as receptive to it, if that makes sense. Right. Especially when
That makes perfect sense.
Especially when you're drunk, Noah. Okay, you're touchy when you're drunk. It's so funny.
You say some wild shit when you're drunk. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
And I go, Dave.
Yeah, as soon as
I
Master.
go like this fucker. And then it's funny though. It's hilarious. I love it.
As soon as Master Uwe comes out, we know we're about to have a good time.
Yeah, like I said, what makes me go, damn, this fucker. But in a funny way, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
It's funny. It's funny though, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, definitely. I don't think I'm really touchy with any of my friends that are women in general. But I don't know if I come off really touchy with any of my friends that are guys either. If you're also, I might do a random like underhook or armbar, but I think that's just a wrestling thing at that point. It's not really like a.
I've thought about doing that to you, but then I'm like, I feel like I'd activate him, but I don't want to just like activate him, especially because you can out wrestle me.
Noah tried to shoot on me one time
Oh, we were
randomly.
at the beach. Yeah.
At the beach, this fool took a shot on me out of nowhere.
How'd that go for you?
He sprawled really easily.
Yeah, I bet he did. Yeah.
It was just so funny because I did not expect it from Noah. That's all. It was the most
That's
random
really
shit
funny.
ever. Like you were definitely, well, granted, who we were with, you weren't the last person. I was gonna say you were the last person I expected it from, but I was like thinking of the group. I'm like, you would be the first person in that group I would expect it from, but you still are one of the last people I would expect it from.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he doesn't. Well, you don't know him as a wrestler. You didn't go to middle school with him, so you don't know the albino rhino. Okay.
I learned about it. I learned about it that day, though, and then it made sense why he randomly fucking shot on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We told Marina that lore. She's aware of the albino rhino lore.
The albino rhino. Oh my
Albino rhino.
Yeah, we've been telling her all about how he used to be like fucking shredded in middle school. He really.
Okay, I wasn't shredded.
We need to find a picture. We need to ask your mom. Your mom has a picture of you in your singlet. Okay.
Yeah, I was so skinny back then. It was crazy.
Oh no, but you weren't that skinny. You had like these giant fucking arms, bro. Oh my god.
I don't know if they were giant, but
Maybe it's because I was so tiny and skinny that they seem
Maybe,
giant.
yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, those are fun times.
Yeah. Well, you could start training again.
Yeah, dude. And then next time when you randomly shoot on me, you might,
Yeah, I
get deep.
need to figure out how to get enough running in without anything else, much less like adding a whole other sport too.
We run at the beginning of practice for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I need to like run. I need to build up my mileage a lot.
Oh, okay.
Aren't you in a running club or something?
Yeah, the running club is like for fun. Like you don't go there to like train hard.
He said those people are pussies. Okay. All right. They don't run like I run. Okay.
It depends on the run club. But like the Pacific Beach Run Club, which is the one I go to the most. It's like the people who go there, they're not runners, right? They're just like random fit people who just want to do something social on a Saturday morning. Like,
That makes sense.
yeah, like because like it's like a really short, slow run with lots of stops and lots of socializing. It's more like a social club.
That's what I've.
That's kind of cool.
Actually, yeah, if you're trying to get into it, I'd say ironically, speaking of the having women friends podcast episode, I had this conversation with one of my women friends a few months ago. I was at her place all day hanging out. I went to a concert on a date with a girl, like LA that night, and then the next day, I was still in LA, and I was like, you know what? So I wasn't with that girl anymore the next day, and so I have friends in LA, and so one of my friends, I went and hung out with her. I went to her place and hung out with her like the whole day, and she ran at college, and she was telling me how she joined a running club, and how it sucked because it didn't push her because everyone in the club is more social and stuff, and it's kind of like a social thing, and if you're trying to actually push yourself running wise, it's not a great club. If you're just trying to meet people and have a fun time and be outside, it's cool. And that goes back to having women friends and hanging out with women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes their cats bite you, though. I warn you, be careful.
Yeah.
I should look into the more serious run clubs and give them a shot. I just think like the people I've gone to run clubs with are like not super serious runners, so it's like PB Run Club is just like really caters to them, and it's like a fun thing to like get away from just like being on my own running all the time and like do it around a whole bunch of people, even if it is like really chill.
Yeah, I think working out with people is definitely like more enjoyable than working out by yourself.
I think that I think that martial artists are privileged that you always have to have like one other person, like otherwise you're just like fucking shadow boxing, and that's like ass.
Yeah.
Like,
although sometimes that one other person get on your nerves, and then it gets like
oh my god.
No, I'm joking. People don't get on my nerves.
I'm sure that's never happened once before.
It's funny because I feel like I got in so many fights in college, like it's ridiculous, and they were always with my teammates, and like in our wrestling room, and it happened like I feel like that was like a normal thing in that room, just people getting mad and throwing a punch out of nowhere, and then you're like, damn, I'm not even that mad, but shit, I guess I got to throw a punch back now.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy to me.
In high school, there was one time someone punched me in the face. Instead of like cross-facing me, he just straight up punched me in the face. And then I like almost...
In a match?
What? No.
In a match or in practice?
No, it was at practice, yeah.
At practice?
Almost to prove a point, I didn't hit him back, and I just started beating him worse. Just to prove a point, like... Because he was frustrated.
You're a much better man than I am, that's for sure.
No, I wanted to prove that I could just like he could hit me in the face and I'd still pin him, and then I did. You can hit me, you can sucker punch me, and I'll still fuck you up. Fuck you. I was more toxic back then. I should have just stopped and been like, all right, we're gonna switch partners because you're being a psycho.
You're so cool.
Yeah, and like I think a lot of coaches can drive that. I think then jiu-jitsu has been a lot better as an adult because like I have a coach now who like if it felt like people didn't like each other, he would probably just separate us and not let us go with each other, right? Versus like there was one time that my coach, I was like I could tell this kid was like ready to quit that day, and I felt bad for him. And I wasn't going as hard. I was like, all right, don't worry about it, man. We'll just flow through it, okay? Just get up. You're doing good. And I was like, tell him that. And usually we have a pretty adversarial relationship at practice, but we were like actually doing good for once when we're rolling. And at one point, he walks up and he's like, Gavin, why aren't you trying? And I just like stared at him, and he's like, well, why aren't you trying? And he sounded just like that too. And and I was like, yeah, like. I just didn't want him to quit. Like I'm just trying to keep him in practice right now. And he was like yelling at me. He's like, "You both have bad attitudes. Da, 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 da. Like you need to get that.
Oh my God.
You need to get that chip off your shoulder, and you need to take the chip and put it on your shoulder." Da, 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 da. I was like, okay.
What?
It's funny. Something toxic masculinity
Oh,
is the name of this
100%.
podcast. Something.
That's terrible. I do agree with you on jiu-jitsu. I feel like I don't think any of my instructors have ever like been the types to like push that type of attitude. I feel like they would be the types to be like, "The fuck's wrong with you? Like, be normal, stop it."
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had an instructor like that, but I've heard of instructors like that. So I don't want to say that it's like a blanket rule for jiu-jitsu, but but I've never had one because
Me either.
You've had some.
Wrestling's a little different.
What?
Wrestling's a bit different though.
Yeah.
In wrestling, like my college coaches definitely would have been like, "The fuck, hit him back."
Yeah, wrestling culture.
I don't know.
Wrestling culture, I think, it could use some improvement. I would say.
I agree with that, but back to women. You hear the news. Speaking of women, that they decided to add women's wrestling as an official NCAA sport. It was announced, I think, yesterday, the day before. So now there will be a NCAA tournament for women.
Let's fucking go. That's
Cool.
awesome. That's so exciting. Yeah.
So
I didn't know
is
that.
that- what's the change? Did it used to be co-ed and now they're separating it, or what?
No, before, at least at the college level, there just wasn't like a national like D1 tournament for women. I mean, women still had, there was college wrestling for women and they had their own separate thing, but it wasn't like you weren't gonna be
Oh, I didn't know
Division
that.
1 or Division 2. Yeah,
Okay.
to like national champ.
Gotcha. Because I know that who do we know? Didn't
middle
Marky
school
wrestle in
wrestling-
college? Sorry.
I remember middle school wrestling was completely co-ed.
Yeah, like in high school through middle school, it was co-ed until like I think my like a little bit after I graduated, they started having like actual women's teams, and so they started having women's teams, and they started having a women's state tournament. So like that probably would have been around the 2000 maybe
I see.
15, 16 school year.
I'm sure it's
No, they had it. They had it all for. They
Before
had
that even?
Yeah, they had it before that. Yeah. It was
Gotcha.
actually a big controversy at Steel Canyon when they separated the teams. I remember that caused a lot of people to quit. When they didn't make the practices co-ed anymore.
Oh yeah, their practices. I remember because I used to go to their practices, and everyone used to argue about who would be my practice partner.
That's cute.
well,
The boys and
also
girls would argue.
that they're making like a legit NCAA tournament for women.
Yeah, they literally announced it this week. I forgot what day, but I forgot when, but it was announced this week. So they're now gonna have and D1 was the first group to announce it, and then I think like yesterday or the day before yesterday, the other divisions D2 and D3 also announced that they will be adding women's wrestling as an official sport, and they'll be having a tournament.
Hell yeah.
That's great.
Good.
Yeah. So more opportunities, bringing it back to today's topic of women and our relationships with them.
Yeah, I think being like for Everett and I think being woman sized has like helped us a little bit because like we can because like we get to have our ass kicked by women sometimes, that's healthy. Like I don't know. I feel
It fucking sucks. Not because she's a woman, but because you're getting your ass kicked.
Well,
It sucks no matter who's doing it.
true. Yeah. So
My first day of my first week of jiu-jitsu, when I very first started doing it, I rolled with this woman who was like a world champ. I had won worlds at purple belt, and I had been doing it for like 3 days. She almost broke my arm. But being such a mean armbar, it was like my third day, and I was a kid. I would think I had to have been like 13 or 14.
Yep.
I'm just like, but we were like the same size, so I went with her.
oh god. Yeah.
Fun times.
Oh, that's all I
I
got.
have another pet peeve,
What?
which is when friends get a really controlling girlfriend who says that they can't be friends with women anymore.
Oh yeah.
I hate
That
that
goes both
shit.
ways for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It does. It does.
Well, a few months ago, I mean, I've been on the dating apps for a while now. I haven't had a long-term relationship in a long time, and a few months ago, some point in 2024, one of the girls that I matched with, who I started talking to a little bit, she told me that when she gets into a relationship, that guys she's in a relationship with shouldn't have female friends, and she's like, and that's what she said. That's why she doesn't have male friends.
Fuck, we should get her on for next week. Can you find
Dude,
her?
yeah.
Can you find her?
Yeah, go dig her up, dude. Dig her up. No. Dude, you just butter her up again, man. Get her on the podcast.
Should I actually hit her up?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
He's
No.
gonna do that. That'd be wild.
No. Yeah.
You guys are boring.
No. Well, hold on, Isaiah. I'll text you.
You have the girl he can string like that already.
Bro, put it in the chat. Just put it in the chat.
No.
True, put it in the chat.
Shocked when we had that conversation, because I don't know, it was just she was like an independent woman who had a good job, and I don't know, it just caught me off guard when she told me that, and I was like, well, yeah, that's gonna be a problem, because I'm not gonna stop being friends with people who've been there for me for a decade.
No. Yeah.
Just because they're a woman. Are you kidding me?
No. Yeah.
And you just like someone who just walks into my life at this point, and you expect me to drop really important people to me? No, that's fucked up. Hell no.
No. Yeah.
I didn't say that to her, because I was obviously she had these very deeply ingrained beliefs, but that's when I knew I wasn't ever gonna take her out on a date. We had never gone on a date. We had just had some phone calls and stuff. So.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, I can date someone who said every friend of yours who doesn't have a penis, fuck them. Well, not that way.
Can you share some words?
You know what I meant. Stop talking to them. Yeah, I don't care. If they don't have a penis, no more talking to them. That's it. We're done. I can do it.
Waiting for Noah to read his texts.
I just read.
No, did call me out on that. Actually, when I New Year's, so.
Wait, I called you out?
Yeah.
You did. You called me out on the thing in the text messages, because I said something and you pulled me to the side and you were like, no.
Oh.
That could be our next segment. We could just do the call right now. We could do it on.
That'd be insane.
He's laughing because we're right.
No.
We're not.
Put him in the hot seat. That'll be funny.
Well,
It's your turn now.
Yeah. Oh my god. No. It's
Oh
okay.
man.
It's okay.
Women, you know? Am I right? Am I right, guys?
Jesus Christ. I love how that's such a you don't even have to say anything after it, because that's just such a no matter anyone who says it unironically is just the next thing that comes out of their mouth is the most misogynistic thing possible.
Oh, 100%. But I didn't have anything else in my head. It was empty after that.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. Yeah.
I've got 5 minutes and then I have to run, y'all. So.
Oh.
You got me.
Where are you going?
I'll text you.
Okay. Okay. What else we got? We made it an hour and 8 minutes. Okay. We stretched this podcast out. Okay. I thought we were gonna struggle to 30. Okay, and we're doing great.
No,
I thought we were gonna bubble.
I gotta add something funny to the chat now.
Oh no.
Thinking of speaking of the things I just said.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's harder in certain areas to make friends with women, for men and women to be friends. I haven't lived in enough different areas. It seemed like that was the case in Tucson.
When you were going to U of A?
Yeah, but I also feel like it was just harder to make complete friends in general in Tucson.
Mm.
And I don't know, Isaiah. Help me out here.
Well, yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like it's much easier to make friends in the Southwest than up here in the PNW in general.
Yeah, well, yeah,
So
but you live in, but you live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Okay.
No, I really don't actually.
I thought you did. I thought you lived like 45 minutes away from
No.
No? From your school.
I live in Bellingham. Oh, I did. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I was still going to school in Bellingham. It doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I live in Bellingham for all intents and purposes right now.
Okay.
Mm. I will say, at least for me, I felt like making friends with women, at least in college, was actually super easy. But I think part of it too was, I think part of it is because I was like an athlete, so that just made it easier because you just made friends with the other athletes in general pretty easy. Well, my first few years actually was a little different because everyone hated our team for rightful reasons. But after
because of that one guy.
our team was the most hated team on campus, and it was 100% earned and deserved. So I had friends, but I wasn't. It was awkward because my teammates weren't invited to things.
That's actually extra hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be like the rule always when you get invited to something by anyone, it'd be like, don't tell the wrestlers, or you can't tell your wrestling teammates about it. It was really bad.
What was wrong with them?
The upperclassmen, my freshman year, were all like just a bunch of fucking shitheads who loved to start stuff for no reason, and every weekend was them starting fights, and then everyone getting mad at me because I would always apologize because we were always in the wrong, and then my teammates would get mad at me for apologizing and not wanting to fight, and I'd be like, I'm not afraid to get in a fight, but I'm not gonna fight someone when I'm in. Well, not me, but you know what I mean. Like the group that I'm with, my teammates. Like if we're in the wrong, like I'm just gonna say sorry about these guys. You know, I'm the freshman here. Or seniors. I don't really know what you want me to do other than apologize, but yeah. And that was like a weekly occurrence for 2 years, and then everyone on the team became cool, and all the uncool people graduated, and everyone loved us for my last 3 years.
All right.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to this beautiful place called Cal State Bakersfield in the beautiful city. Super nice place. I tell everyone you gotta go check out the oil fields. You know.
Oh my god. Yeah. That place in Fresno, I've been to quite a few wrestling tournaments there. Obviously not as much as Everett, but
They fucking suck. I hate it.
So dog shit. Oh my god.
I moved so quick after graduating. I was out of that bitch. I said, all right,
I don't
dog.
know. I feel like taking a girl out to the oil fields is like the most romantic date you can possibly imagine.
Dude, that's what I was told.
Picnic at the oil field.
My freshman year, I was hyped for it. I was like, dude, I was told, like, you go on a date, take her to the Bluffs. It's a super cool spot. So I'm kind of hyped. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, all right. And I get there, I'm like, is this a bunch of fucking oil fields? With the lights from the oil fields, you know? Like, women like that. And then that's when I realized, like, no matter what they try to sell me on, like, having grown up in San Diego, it's just gonna fucking suck ass.
Like,
Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta leave. It was fun talking to y'all.
okay.
All right, Noah.
Good, sir.
Okay. Bye. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Bye, Noah.
Love you. Don't do anything I want to do.
Oh my god. He needs.
In Noah's defense, I do say that to everyone.
I know.
Don't do anything I want to do. You know.
He needs.
Which?
He needs to do that thing already.
Oh yeah, that thing. I wouldn't do it. So that's why he needs. I'm joking. Actually,
Wait, are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording.
I just realized, like, no matter how I try to say this, is just gonna come out wrong. So I just need to stop.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke, but I just can't. I can't salvage it. I can't make this a joke. I agree with you, Davin. He needs to do it.
Yeah.
I won't be joking. I was serious.
Don't even know the context. I'm
We'll
privy to
give
the
you-
situation, but
We'll give you the context when I stop recording in like 5 seconds. All right. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Everett. Thank you, Isaiah. Okay. I will see you next week where we have the women talk about why it's good to have men friends.
Ooh.
That one should be a little spicier. We should have a little spicier guests on, so that's fun. Yeah. Okay. Subscribe, like, hit the noti bell. Thanks. Bye.